Is there an extra mic somewhere? I think I hear my beard. All that and much more up next on the EduTechGuys.
You're listening to the EduTechGuys. EduTechGuys.com. Hello and welcome to the EduTechGuys. I'm David Henderson.
Hey, I'm Jeff Madlock.
And I can feel my hair growing.
Yeah, the beard thing. These mics are a little extra sensitive today. We've been away from the mics for a while, and I think they're protesting somehow.
They are.
We're going to extra gain you, dude.
That's right. They're a little jealous.
You ignore us. Well, guess what? We're here now, Mr. Microphone. Mr. Microphone.
Mr. Microphone.
Hey, thanks for listening to us today. We hope you're either traveling or there or in front of the fireplace or shoveling snow or raking leaves or, in this country, especially in the Southwest, you could be lounging at the pool. Thanksgiving. But hey, thanks for listening to the show. Check us out on the web, www.edutechguys, edutechguys.com. And you can find everything you want to find out about us by just going to any of your favorite search engines, which probably could be Google, and go out there and type in EduTechGuys.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of Google, it's weird that, to me, it's weird that
everybody's Google. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, we were speaking of the Google. I don't know, whatever, Congress or Federal Trade Commission or whatever, is trying to separate Chrome from Google.
What is it, a monopoly?
Yeah, they're saying it's a monopoly. I'm like, no, there's, I don't know. Anyway, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But
great.
It's going to be like Ma Bell, but not.
I heard they're trying to separate the heels from the rest of the loaf of bread too. So I don't know, because it's monopoly.
I would support that. I would support that.
The heels have always been there to wrangle in the rest of the bread, and it's not been fair. It's not been fair to the rest of the bread. Somebody's got to be a bookend. We can't all be slices of bread. Well, I was wondering, is Texas toast?
Texas toast.
Are the heels real thick there too? I don't remember. Or is it a thick heel or is it a regular thin heel?
I truly don't even remember there being a heel. I
feel like we've dropped into a Big Bang Theory conversation here. Would the Hulk eat? So does the Hulk eat, Texas-sized toast? Does he? Was the heels bigger than?
Is Texas toast to the Hulk like regular toast to the rest of us? That's what we really want to know.
Is that what it is? That's what it's thicker. He and the Thing from Fantastic Four. That's what they eat. Is Texas toast? Is their regular toast?
Exactly. And it's like a cracker, a saltine. Huh. Is that like a giant piece of bread to Ant-Man?
Oh, that's it. So like an entire sleeve of saltines.
It's like a meal for a year.
That's a lot of chili.
That's a lot of chili. I have no idea where we're going, where we've been, what's happening.
Hey, we're just thankful that Thanksgiving's right around the corner.
We are very thankful.
Very thankful. It's been an invigorating fall. First semester. It's really interesting. I mean, we'll talk about the 600-pound schedule in the room. Most schools, by the time you hit Thanksgiving, it kind of starts winding down.
Yeah, things are.
And if you're an educator and you're listening to this, pretend I'm the guy sitting in the park with the little sign, drinking his coffee that says "School finishes at Thanksgiving." Come at me with it. Prove me wrong.
Change my mind.
I could be angering some of our people. My 31 years has taught me, just if anything, don't stick your tongue to a 9-volt battery. And school pretty much wraps itself up around Thanksgiving, and then the rest is all Christmas parties and watching the Santa Claus 2, Santa Claus 3, Santa Claus 4 over and over again, and the obligatory cars in there.
And A Christmas Story. You got to watch A Christmas Story.
Do they show that in the classroom?
Oh, I don't know if they show it in the classroom.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I'm talking in the classroom.
No. Did they show Santa Claus in the classroom? I didn't know they showed Santa Claus in the classroom.
I would bet my left toe. All of them. All five.
All 5 of your
all
left
7
toes.
of my left toes, I would bet on that. So
there you go.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? Anyway, hey, so listen, it's a quick show today. We just thought we'd come on. We've been away for a while. We've just had everything from illness to, scheduling to everything just to keep us away from the microphones.
There have been forces at work.
Yes, there have been
Keeping
forces
us
at
away
work.
from the microphone.
I can tell you when we get back from Christmas, we'll be prepping up for FETC in Orlando.
Excited about that.
And then right after that, TCEA in Austin.
Yeah.
And then then spring break, Thanksgiving.
And then Thanksgiving again.
If you can't tell where my brain is.
Jeff is just counting down the minutes until it's time to run out the door for Thanksgiving.
I'm jonesing for the tryptophan, let me tell you.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly.
Tryptophan? Is
Tryptophan,
tryptophan? Huh?
Yeah.
I didn't do well in chemistry.
I didn't either.
All the words. I had the same problem in English. All the words.
And math.
Hey, listen, we hope you spend your time not worrying about AI or the classroom and, spend it with your family and have some good times. But if you want to get out there, I'm going to throw this one out. The one that I've been harping on the last few weeks has been learn to ask the right questions. And that goes all the way back to the invention of search engines in the classroom. If you're writing your tech people and you're asking them how to do something, did you Google it first? I know that has been a running theme for the EduTechGuys for a decade. Did you Google it first? We were just talking about it again this morning.
Well, we were, and it's not just Googling. It's not just Googling. It truly is. Whether you're asking Google, whether you're asking whatever other search engine is out there, or you're asking AI. The key is to formulate the question in a way that is going to give you reliable, accurate, meaningful answers. And that's definitely part of the problem. I mean, it really is. Part of the problem that we see, and problem is probably not the right word. It's part of it is. It's a problem that needs to be solved.
It's a problem.
It is a problem.
For Jeff, it's a problem.
But the problem is, so the crux of the issue is that a lot of folks tend to either put in way too many words, and so therefore, the various search engines or AI don't know what to do with that. It's information overload, and there are too many variables involved, or there's not enough information. So searching for, two single words is probably not going to give you the results you're looking for because it's too narrow.
Right.
And I know it's hard. It's and especially depending on the topic or what you're trying to find, a lot of times it can be hard to figure out, okay, so where is the balance? But I would say that first and foremost, if you're not getting the answers that you need, if the answers that you receive do not seem helpful, then take another look at the way you're asking the question.
Right. What's funny about that is that when you're talking about it, I'm thinking about, I've used AI a lot to create graphics. Mm-hmm. And in creating graphics, you have to continually reword your sentences. And, a full disclosure here, for Jeff, a long time, grammar was just hard. Excuse me. Grammar was just hard, but I realize now that that was a big deal too later in life, writing without stealing, without plagiarizing, reading what you read and then rewording it, rewriting it so that it's not complete plagiarism. And in that, you get into nouns and pronouns and verbs and adjectives, conjunctions, the whole bit. That's literally what AI is about because that's how the machines learned. They're using the rules of grammar that we humans have created, and that's the programming that they're using. So the key is that you write your first sentence, and it gives you kind of what you're looking for. Well, now don't plagiarize what you just did, but reorganize it and use your adjectives correctly and your conjunctions and, fix it so that it's going to work. So I see the need, like you say, that, we've asking the right question is not just asking the right question, but building it. And this takes us all the way back to basic grammar of, why are we doing this? Why do I care about a run-on sentence? Who gives a rat's booty about, commas and things like that? But this is why, because now AI is using the rules that we created to give you what you want. And that actually brings us to exactly what we've always talked about, asking the right question. Even if it was 1976 and I was trying to get an answer from an educator or an answer from a student as an educator, how do I word this sentence to get that correctly? And that's to me, right back to basic, we don't need a computer to teach that. We just back to the chalkboard and let's draw our lines and let's label our words and
Well, and I think a big part of it also is that a lot of folks, in my experience, tend to, I'm just going to say give up, because I don't know another way to express it, but give up like when the first set of results come back and they're not what you're looking for, right? Because sometimes you can recognize that pretty quickly. How do I XYZ? And the results come back and they're nowhere near what you're looking for. Part of that is because, some of the results are sponsored, some of the results are bad, some of the results are very outdated, and you can, and a lot of folks, you're able to see that in the results. And then at that point, it's just like, well, never mind, I can't find what I'm looking for. Okay, but let's work a little bit. You sometimes have to, again, figure out, okay, how can I ask this in a better way, or use some of the advanced tools. So not long ago, I was doing some work on a computer that I've got at the house, and I was trying to, one of the things I was trying to do was create a bootable, this is going to get very techie, so, well, I say that, but I was trying to create a bootable CD that acted like a floppy disk. Now, just because of the system I had, it was a problem I had, and I needed a solution. And the results that I was getting back were all about how to make bootable CDs, like, and those who have experience, if you've got, I don't know, Windows 7 on a DVD, then you pop that in and it automatically boots and it does the whole thing. I was trying to recreate that, but as a floppy disk. And so as I'm doing the research, that's not what it's giving me. So yeah, I could have just given up and said, well, obviously you can't do this. This is ridiculous. No, it's a matter of saying, okay, what are different ways I can rephrase this? Or what is it that I'm looking for? And here's the other thing. I had to go past the first page of results, and I think a lot of folks get stuck with that as well. If it's not on the first page, well, then it doesn't exist. No, sometimes the answer you're looking for is on page 22. And I hate that. I really do. But, you just sometimes have to look through until you can figure out the results. Now, in my particular case, I solved it by stumbling, frankly, onto someone else who had figured it out. And then I was able to take what they had done and adapt it to my needs. Yeah. So, and sometimes that's the solution. Sometimes you don't get to be the author of the solution. Sometimes you have to take someone else's solution and modify it for your needs.
So it's funny, the levels of you asking questions. So you're asking Google to find someone who asked the right question.
Yes, at that point, it really did become that.
And literally you asked the right question of Google to find the right person who asked the right question to fix the problem.
Yeah, it's very Inception.
I think, it's funny when you said, I didn't just finally go, give up. So I'd like to point out the whole time thing too. Yeah. As you get older, time becomes more precious. It seems like it does seem to fly by, but it doesn't. And, you get mad and you go, this is just, you just did 4 minutes of Googling and you're giving up already. Come on. There's that too. Give yourself some time to, do that. I think the biggest thing I've seen lately is that more people are realizing, and I'll reiterate, just for you listening, not that I'm some, the great sage on this whole kind of thing, but, when you're done for the day, be done for the day. Mm-hmm. Unless it's, an emergency or ultra important, go home, stop grading papers at home, stop doing that if you can. And there shouldn't be any reason you can't.
Well, that's such a great place to have a conversation, because I know of a teacher that I heard of this secondhand. So, somebody's telling me this, but there's a situation at a school and they were asked point blank, well, why didn't you do this over the weekend? And they said, I don't get paid to work on the weekend.
Exactly.
Do you get paid to work on the weekend? Well, no, but for your classroom and for the good of you. And they said, no, I get paid to be here from X to Z, and I have a planning period. And if I can't do it between then it gets put away and I'll tackle it the next day, right. Or I'll tackle it on Monday if this was a Friday.
Well, and the best thing about that,
there are some folks who are able to do that, and there are some folks that aren't able to do that for various reasons and various motivations.
Yeah, but we were beat into the other reason.
But you make a wonderful point. At the end of the day, as much as you can, leave it.
Well, and there's the thing. When you're going to work, it's the same thing. Your time is till you have to be there. And, if you have to be there at 7:45, now that's on you if you get there at 7:45. But you shouldn't rush your morning rituals or your family's rituals or anything that's going on. I'm using rituals in a weird way, but you know what I mean. Don't rush that stuff. That's family time. That's important time. You're going to look back when you were making breakfasts and you were making lunches and the kids are, sitting there trying to scarf down their cereal before the bus comes or whatever you're doing before you pack them all in the car or they go to walk to school. And you're going to wish you had those times because there was conversation there. There was things going on. There was life happening in that moment. And if all you can think about is getting to your job, and then the moment you finish your job is to get home so you can get other things out of the way so you can get back to your job at home, that's a bad mojo, man. And I can tell you as a 55-year-old, 31-year teacher, educator, that's bad mojo. That's just some bad mojo. The other thing I think it teaches is that, I love it when administrators say, well, I know you don't get paid for the weekend, but aren't you doing it for the kids? Hey, the best thing I can do for these kids is to show them that when we're here to work, we're here to work. And when the time's up for working, that's our time. Mm-hmm. And you should relish that time. So as an educator, someone who's spending the majority of their lives with them and vice versa, the best thing I can show them is that, hey, listen, 4:00, I go home. You go home, you go do your thing, go play your softball, go play in the park, go, do soccer and dance or whatever you're doing. It's your time. And when we're at school, we're going to work really hard and we're going to use every available minute at school to get the job done. And then we'll be back and we'll do it again the next day. But over the weekends and things like that, that's a valuable lesson that we're going to have to emulate, in the classroom. It is. And, so back to Thanksgiving. That's what this is kind of the beginning of the season to me. Everybody does look forward to the break. Make it about you. Don't make it about, school or your job. If you get the time, spend it with your family. Spend it by yourself if that's what you want.
Yes. Yeah.
No, I wouldn't want to do that. Please, Lord, help me. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's not true. But, but some people, yeah. I know a lot of single folks that, that are educators that this is when they take their trips.
Sure.
They go off and they go to Belize or they travel or they go to the Grand Canyon or whatever they're going to do. Camp by themselves. Yeah, and it's the regenerative, one of those words. It's a reg word somewhere.
It's a reg word. That's a Windows thing. Reg words. Anyway,
right now they're email. Listen, I'm questioning the educational validity of Jeff. David, there's not a problem there, but Jeff.
But even the folks that aren't single, you got folks in your lives. You still need that separate, alone downtime.
Oh, for sure.
You need that time to be you, to be with yourself, for you to, get refueled and have all that, kind of detox and de-stress and all that kind of stuff. So,
and I think it's
take out time for yourself as well.
We like to doom scroll. That's what we do now.
Sure.
But, people give it a hard time. Well, that's no different than stepping into your back room, reading a book for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Well, no, Jeff, no. For some people, that is what it is. It's, if I'm tying fishing flies or if I'm, carving a table or I'm baking.
Right.
Maybe the internet is the new thing. And I know everybody has, well, that's just trash. Is it trash? How much stuff can you actually say? Because you're still on it. Because you're listening to us right now.
You are listening to trash. Oh, wait. No, that's not what we're doing.
Whoops, I went the wrong direction. Oh, man, look, our number's dropping. Yeah, you can't get much lower than 50. But, but no, really, hey, from us to you, we hope you have a great Thanksgiving.
Yeah, take some time for yourselves.
Yep.
Take some time to be with family. And I mean, it's in all sincerity. I know it's about to get real sappy, and I know, and probably a lot of Pollyanna here coming, but just bear with me. But in all seriousness, if you got some bad blood, see if there's a way to at least make some inroads. I mean that seriously. I watched, some of my family members who, for decades, just would not talk to each other, would not, and then it almost was too late to rectify the situation. And, push comes to shove, it turned out that the thing that they were most upset about turned out to be nothing in the scheme of things, So just, I don't know, just take some time and do what you can to be thankful for what you have, for who you have, and see if you can.
You're trying to make me cry on this podcast.
Well,
anyway,
that's what I do.
I got to go get a Kleenex. The good stuff, though, David's exactly right. I concur 110%. Hey, listen, hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving from Jeff Madlock and
David Henderson.
Happy Thanksgiving. We'll catch you next time.
You've been listening to the EduTech Guys, edutechguys.com.